Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Arjun Chaudhary. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Thursday, the 23rd of July. Judicial Commission rejects Imran Khan's allegations of poll rigging in 2013 Pakistan elections. Analysts wary of peace returning to Afghanistan despite resumption of talks. And gold fails to attract buyers in India even as prices continue to fall. And now for all the details. Pakistan's ruling Muslim League has demanded an apology from cricketer turned politician Imran Khan's Tehreek-e-Insaf for making baseless allegations of vote rigging during the 2013 general elections. This comes after the Judicial Commission probing the incident reportedly rejected all claims of the PTI. The commission held that there was no evidence to substantiate the allegations of organized rigging, non-transparent polling and theft of the public mandate, as said by the PTI. The party had in 2014 staged a 126-day sit-in demonstration in Islamabad, accusing the Nawaz Sharif government of widespread manipulations in the election, which the Muslim League swept with a historic mandate. 2015 has been one of the bloodiest years for the Afghan army. Latest reports have revealed. This comes even as the government is making all efforts to buy peace with the Taliban, a process many believe will take a long time to materialize.
In the first 6 months of 2015, the Afghan National Army has lost over 4,100 of its personnel, a staggering 50% rise from the same period last year. The NATO, which disclosed the latest figures, also stated that over 7,800 service members were also injured in various blasts and terror attacks. The Afghan Human Rights Commission on Wednesday also expressed concern over the growing civilian casualties in the country. The rights body claimed that there is over 40% increase in civilian deaths from the previous year. Most of the casualties are the result of Taliban attacks targeting both civilians and military alike. The insurgents who finally agreed to hold peace talks with the government earlier this month have, however, so far not accepted a ceasefire. Even though the two sides have agreed to hold the second round of talks in 2 weeks, many in Afghanistan feel it will take years before peace returns to the country, ravaged by decades of war. Analysts feel the growing presence of Islamic State in the country could also deter the entire process.
ISIS itself becomes a warning for Taliban. And for example, in the east in Nangarhar, they were able to kick out Taliban from some of the districts. That is also a danger for peace process, because I don't think that all Taliban would agree with the peace process. Some of the field commanders, they might refuse, and then they could become member of Daesh.
The Taliban has reportedly demanded the formation of a united national government in which the militia will also have its representation. This has left many, especially women, concerned due to the track record of the Taliban of suppressing women during its rule.
We had a meeting with the president where we posted, I can share the statement with you, that we said we do not want women's rights to be sacrificed for peace. And he promised us that he will never sacrifice women's rights in bringing.
Afghanistan is going through a phase of transition post the end of NATO's combat mission last year. Even though the government has claimed that the Afghan forces are capable of defending their homeland, repeated Taliban assaults have exposed the vulnerability of the poorly armed and trained troops.
Even before Iran signed the historic nuclear deal with the world powers, it has sought investments from India in infrastructure projects, including the strategically important Chabahar port, India's gateway to Central Asia. Here is a report on what the lifting of sanctions against Tehran really mean for New Delhi.
Bilateral trade between India and Iran stands at $14 billion. Analysts say the Iran deal would be a big boost for Indian exports.
Iran is looking forward to major trade pacts. It needs the technology, it needs the know-how of India in many fields, not just in information technology, but in many other parts. And India looks forward to partnering with Iran for its trade and investment and other issues in Central Asia, especially with Afghanistan. So in that way, hopefully the trade would pick up and give a boost to the bilateral trade, much more than what we had before the sanctions.
Over 10 years ago, India and Iran agreed to develop the Chabahar port on the Gulf of Oman. But the venture has moved slowly, with the sanctions adding to various complications. For India, the Chabahar port opens up a link to Central Asia. It gives India access to landlocked Afghanistan, bypassing rival Pakistan, which it shares an uneasy relationship with. India is doing all it can to woo Tehran. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has proposed a visit to Iran in a bid to strengthen strategic ties.
India-Iran relations have definitely, I think, suffered from lack of high-level political contact on both sides. There are a variety of reasons why India has not been able to sustain this kind of interaction. And I think the visit by Prime Minister Modi, whenever it occurs, will be a very significant punctuation as far as India-Iran relations are concerned.
In the past, India has moved slowly on opportunities in Iran, including on a gas field called Farzad B. Some ministers within Modi's government say the opportunities in Iran are vast. What's important is that India does not drag its feet, because with the lifting of sanctions, there are many countries waiting to cash in.
The process of elections in Myanmar seems to have hit a roadblock. The Union Election Commission of the country has raised concerns about terrors in the voters' list for the parliamentary election. Myanmar is set to go to polls in November.
The Union Election Commission, or UEC, of Myanmar has said the particular errors could become an obstacle for the upcoming parliamentary elections. Political parties, including the opposition National League for Democracy led by Aung San Suu Kyi, have been asked to report discrepancy, if any. Denai, chairperson of the UEC, raised the concern during a press meet on Wednesday. The UEC also rejected a request from a political party to extend candidate registration period, fearing a lack of time to reopen parliament. Myanmar goes to polls on November 8th in what is being billed as the first legitimate election in 25 years. After emerging from a military rule in 2011, the country is vying to establish a democracy as nationwide pro-democracy movement has been gaining ground for some time now.
An anti-terrorism court in Pakistan on Thursday sent Qamar Mansoor, a leader of the Muttahida Qawami movement, to the paramilitary 90-day custody. Mansoor, a member of the coordination committee of the MQM, was arrested by the paramilitary during a raid at the party headquarters last week for alleged hate speech. He is also accused in a number of other cases, including involvement in targeted killings and extortion. The MQM is the fourth largest political party in Pakistan's National Assembly and has its stronghold in southern Sindh province. The party is also accused of promoting violence and sectarianism in Pakistan's commercial hub Karachi.
Officers were ambushed by gunmen.
Even when gold prices took a hit globally, many experts remain optimistic that the yellow metal will still attract buyers in India. But that doesn't seem to be the story this time around.
Gold, the most popular metal in India, seems to be losing its shimmer. The ornamental element is witnessing one of its worst phases as its market continued to fall this week. Gold prices dipped to below $392 per 10 grams, the lowest in 2 years. Despite this, Indians, for whom gold is a means of investment, are not rushing to buy it.
Internationally, gold prices down जा रहे हैं. Last 1.5 years से आप देखोगे तो उसका effect India में आ रहा है, and people are losing the confidence कि जब बढ़ती है gold तभी demand बहुत ज़्यादा थी, अब negative है तो लोगों का ज़रा interest भी लेने का कम हो रहा है क्यों अब इनको लगता नहीं है कि आगे बढ़ेगा, day by day down जा रहा है.
Jewelry shop owners are, however, making their own efforts to entice customers.
यहाँ के हमारे जो राजकोट गोल्ड डीलर एसोसिएशन है, उसने घोषित किया है 10 ग्राम पे 1000 रुपये मेकिंग चार्ज पर डिस्काउंट और डायमंड ज्वेलरी पे 50% मेकिंग चार्ज पर डिस्काउंट. तो ये ग्राहक के लिए तो सोने पे सुहागा जैसी ही बात हो गई.
The demand for gold is not likely to surge in coming days. The absence of many auspicious marriage days in this year's Hindu calendar that would have pushed people to buy gold for weddings is being cited as a major reason by many. Also, the weak monsoon season has not left farmers with much cash to buy gold. Experts have said it is difficult to predict the price trend for gold in future.
They say music transcends boundaries as folk artists from both India and Pakistan came together to strike chords in northern India. The audience got a perfect dose. Take a look.
An atmosphere of warmth and harmony prevailed when musicians from both India and Pakistan shared the stage to croon soulful renditions. Folk singers from both the countries performed at a concert in India's northern city of Ludhiana, aiming at promoting peace between the neighbours. The musicians enthralled the audience with their heart-touching melodies. The visiting Pakistani performers said much was common between the two nations and their people.
जहाँ तक लैंग्वेज और कल्चर और बोली का ताल्लुक है, उसमें तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं है, ठीक है ना? मतलब अगर मैं वाघा बॉर्डर को क्रॉस करूँ, तो मुझे सिर्फ एक ही फ़र्क नज़र आता है और वो पक्का है, ठीक है? लैंग्वेज में कोई फ़र्क नहीं है, लोगों के बिहेवियर में कोई फ़र्क नहीं है.
The Indo-Pak folk music concert for peace and harmony was facilitated by the Punjabi groups of both the countries. The event also saw participation of students from both the nations.
It's not quite a norm for the protagonists to be on the same side. Sometimes they also try to outdo each other. Bollywood's new offering is set to recreate the buzz of its original plot. Let's have a look if this one can also be a blockbuster.
हर परिवार में कुछ ऐसे राज होते हैं जो ना खुले तो ही बेहतर है.
It broke records in Malayalam 2 years back. It is still keeping cash registers ringing in Tamil. Drishyam, which seems to have become every filmmaker's favorite script, now lands in the hands of Bollywood director Nishikant Kamath. The Hindi version of the film, starring actors Ajay Devgan, Tabu and Shriya Saran, is being eagerly awaited by cine fans for its intriguing storyline. Devgan and Tabu promoted the film in entertainment capital Mumbai. Devgan, who returns to doing an intense character, said Drishyam gave him an extraordinary role to play.
It is about human emotions. फिल्म में अगर देखा जाए तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है तबू और मेरे बीच and और वही फिल्म को होल्ड करता है जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट है. So that is why we wanted Tabu to do the film because I think ये performance कोई और कर नहीं पाता.
Tabu, who gets back to working with Devgan again after a decade, plays a cop. She said she took a cue from the Malayalam version of the film.
इंस्पिरेशन इसकी ओरिजिनल फिल्म मलयालम में जो है वही हम लोगों ने फॉलो किया. कैरेक्टर इतना स्ट्रांग है कि किसी और को फॉलो करने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी. तो आपने कुछ अच्छा मुझे एक्शन नहीं करना था इस फिल्म में, नहीं तो प्रिपेयर करना पड़ता. आईजी मेरा देशमुख का इकलौता बेटा 3 हफ्तों से मिसिंग है.
Drishyam is the official remake of the 2013 film by same name in Malayalam. Its Tamil version also opened early this month. The investigative thriller is the story about a common man leading a content family life in Goa. But things take a turn when the family commits an unexpected crime. Thus begins the man's desperate measures to save his family from the dark side of the law and a tough cop. Drishyam opens next weekend.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories, once again. Judicial Commission rejects Imran Khan's allegations of poll rigging in 2013 Pakistan elections. Analysts wary of peace returning to Afghanistan despite resumption of talks. And gold fails to attract buyers in India even as prices continue to fall. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.